Hello everyone and welcome to the International Racing League. We're out here for round 3 of the 2022 season. And we're here at the Autódromo Nestor Núñez, named after the famed kart star who passed away not too long ago, unfortunately. The major news item heading into this round happens to be around Roy Inc. If you guys follow the series and watched the previous weekend's race at Mexico, there was a start incident involving Alyssa Hart and Bolger Daniels. No penalty has been given to either driver, predictably, which Rich Roy, who's the team boss at Roy Inc., wasn't exactly happy about. And following into this weekend, there's been some talks, not some talks, but Roy Inc. might be in more trouble. It was discovered during the past 2 rounds that Alyssa Hart was using illegal safety equipment, so the driver's suit and helmet are not up to spec, and Rich Roy's car may not be there's been questions about it that it might not be might be underweight. Roy has denied the claims about his car being underweight. However, there is an internal investigation about the legality of Hart's equipment, because seemingly everyone at the Roy Inc. camp seemed kind of surprised that Hart's equipment, driver suit, helmet, all the safety equipment, may not be up to standards. Which is, I guess, kind of surprising, because the series supplies all the driver suits and whatnot. And if it's not up to safety standards, that means somewhere along the line it's being tampered with. And considering how Roy Inc.'s been reacting, I don't think it's the team tampering with it. So, watch this space. With that being said, let's take a look at the starting grid for the 2023 round of Argentina. Dylan Speeds makes sure that Red Bull has won the last 2 pole awards, with him qualifying on pole. As outside is the points leader, Inge Eriksson, who has won the first 2 rounds of the season. The last driver to sweep the first 3 rounds was Jarrett Jackson, and back in 2003. In the inside of row 2, in 3rd place is Bolger Daniels, Inge's teammate, and Evan Carson starts 4th, who's in second in the points. Wesley Jewell and Ryan Rickshaw have a good qualifying effort. Both the Swift Motorsport cars are in row 4. Row 5 has Chris Regazzoni and Allison Holiday. Row 6, Eric Monaco and Pierre Lamont trying to turn around Universal Motorsport's horrible season. Edmund Berland and Rod on row 7. Row 8, Viol Oling and Alyssa Hart. Hart already in enough trouble, hoping a solid performance today will keep everyone's eyes off of the controversy going on behind them. Carlos Rodriguez and Baguette Regazzoni, row 9. Row 10, Alexa Ryan and Saba Gogomeshvi. Gogomeshvi's ride is under threat, however, that is because he's been nowhere near his teammate at all. Ace Smithley and Tanner Hill, row 11, we expected more out of both of them. Andrea Lopez starts 23rd today. She is a GP4 driver, making her debut in her native country, and so is Rich Roy, not making his debut, but he wanted more. Row 13 are both the Rich Ware cars. Row 14 has Tessa Wolf and Brianna Thorne. Thorne definitely running more. Row 15, Aiden Jackson and Orman both win more. Same with West and Butler. Bonner and Harrington win a bit more than what they got. Kate Rivers making her debut. She's the team car to Beezus Hughes. They both run in the Ring of Fire series. Jack Jackson qualified 36th. 37th has Formula X driver Adela Froilan, who drives for Chevrolet and will be running. It is a team car to Andrea Lopez. And Beezus Hughes qualifies last, 38 out of 38. This circuit, we're running on the short version of it. It's an oval, part of a much larger road course, though, to be fair here, the oval has been a little bit more entertaining. There was a sportsman race that was held at this track a few years ago. Actually, they've recently haven't been holding the Sportsman Series here for a while, but very entertaining. This track is very hard on tires. And during the drivers' meeting, the stewards made it very clear that if there's a car that spins way off into the runoff area, which is enough of it around the circuit, no cautions would be thrown. So we might see a caution-filled race, or we might see a clean race. Here's 2. We're hoping for the latter. Here's Dylan Speed's 82 Red Bull car leading the field to the green. Speeds hoping to score the win that Eric Monaco wasn't able to last week, as he gets a good jump over the field as they come out of turn number 2. Looks like we're clean so far at the front. Jeffrey making it 3 wide with Brianny Thorne, Tessa Wolf entering turn number 3. Contact, D Thorne's already around. That's not a good start. I don't think that's really anyone's fault. I think there's too many cars in one spot, and he slides it wide and almost hits the wall into Beezus Hughes, and Hughes keeps it going. Jeffrey's facing the wrong way. Here's another view of it. Too many cars in one spot. Really can't blame him there. Back in the front of the field, this is the battle for third. Bolga Daniel trying to get underneath Ivan Carson. Now going after her teammate, the reigning champion. Hasn't really had the greatest start to the season, but is still doing quite well, which is what we want to see. She's going to clear her teammate as Bolga Daniels, Inge Anderson starts to slip back into the 27's clutches. However, Daniels runs a bit wide. Contact between Carson and Arison. And Arison going to make the dive, entering turn number 1. Carson making it 3 wide as well, coming out of turn 2. Dylan Speeds is loving this, though it seems like he can't really pull away from these guys, which is a bit of a problem. Arison still side by side by the time of Air 3. Bolger Daniels not giving much room. Arison slides with the racetrack. Here comes Ivan Carson, 3 wide for second. Great stuff early on here at the circuit. It looks like Carson's going to maybe be ahead of both of them by the time they're turn number 1. Yes, he will. Clears the Scandinavian Sport cars as they are too busy fighting for third. And actually, these guys have gained on Dylan Speeds. So, yeah. Despite them being side by side, Speeds isn't really able to pull away, as Arison's going to try to have a run the 27 car. Everett Masana is the 50 car, and we have a caution. And here's why. Tessa Wolf. Contact with the 9 of Alexa Ryan, and around goes Wolf. Nowhere for Nathan Norman to go. Small spin at the back of the field, probably didn't need a caution. Several cars pitted to check tire wear. Some took only fuel, which is why Dylan Speeds is nowhere near the front of the field. Ivan Carson only took fuel, and thus he's leading. Daniels is trying to go around the outside of the 27 car. Doesn't really make much of it, and it's a shame. Adria Fallon, the Formula X driver in this race for Renegade Racing, she is trying to hold off Harrington in the 45, though Harrington is going to go underneath the 45 car. Rick Rod now dueling with Elsa Hart and Baggett Regazzoni, who are playing games, and around goes the 17, and Evan Berlin piles through the 175, and that is a caution. Let's see. Looks like the 7 kind of just drifts up the racetrack haphazardly and just dumps the 7 car. Note to Alyssa, whenever you have a scandal happening around you, drawing more attention to yourself in the negative way isn't exactly helping. As here's Regazzoni going for a spinning seat. Rick Rod going off the road ahead of them. The Trevor Project 17, and that's what happens when you have tires that are basically melting after a spin, along with grass on the tires. Jeffrey is going to lead the field to the restart. After another round of pit stops, he's got Sally Gogameshi behind him in front of Daniels and Carson. Gogameshi desperately needs a good run. He's been nowhere near his teammate the past few seasons. Everett Masson, that 50 car, is a lap down. So is her teammate, the 60 car, but they're both going to get around the 53 along with the 2 car. Horrible stops on those 3 cars. And however, Jeffrey's car doesn't have the power to keep up with the leaders, as Gogameshi puts the bumper to the 53 and takes the spot. And here comes Bolger Daniels with a clean move as those 2 were clowning around. Someone needs to reel in Gogameshi. De La Frontline, this 81 car teammate to Lopez, is a spin in front of him. We'll get to that in a second. And it's Kate Rivers, the 595 car, trying to pull into the pits. Kiddo, you were not clear. Caution 3, lap 17. Anyways, here is Fraulein blowing up under caution. So her home race and IRL debut doesn't even make it past halfway. Yikes. Ivan Carson leads on the restart. followed by, surprise, surprise, Bogart Daniels, Wesley Jewell, who surprisingly hasn't won a race yet, and Beezus Hughes are behind them. Jarrett Jackson, staying out of trouble, rounds out the top 5. Though, looks like Jewell was caught sleeping on the restart. Actually, no, looks like the other 97 was. Excuse me. Carson holds the lead. And here's Carlos Rodriguez driving for University Motorsport. He's back after a pretty decent run at the Round of Mexico's home race. Wesley Jewell hits for the pit lane. He had a flat tire. He got something at least. He climbs the flat. Here is Baguette Regazzoni trying to make a move on her teammate Tessa Wolff. They touch. They keep it clean. That was close. I know bump it runs a thing, but that's your teammate, Baguette. Maybe taking it a bit easy. Anyways, Regazzoni now making a move on a Smithley. Wolff is on the inside. Baguette runs up the racetrack into the 65, into the 420, and around goes Tessa Wolff. Baguette Regazzoni either being spun or causing spins. Tessa Wolff, that's the second time she's been around in that section of the racetrack. Anyways, Devin Butler is moved his way up inside the top 10. He's challenging Jarrett Jackson now. Trying to get under the inside of him. Here he goes. Rich Roy's trying to work around Dylan Speeds, by the way, and not really going well. But Butler and the Connor Sport cars, they've been doing quite well this season. Which is kind of a surprise, but also Devin Butler's been known as the more aggressive drivers in the circuit, while A.J. Jackson has been, well, he's shown massive improvement so far through the season. Rick Rod making a move on the 95 and now the 64, and he cleared himself. Trying to pull a slide job on the 64 was nowhere clear of either the 95 or the 64. Rich Troy desperately trying to get around the 82, has not really gone well. Here comes Butler on the inside. The 82 is a lap down, by the way. I don't know why Dylan Speeds hasn't moved over yet, but this is going to allow Devin Butler to take third from the 29 car. Roy going to fight it around the outside. Oh, that's really not going to help. The Chevrolets have been nowhere this season as Baguette Regazzoni pits the 17 in lap 30. Penn Harrington attacking Jeff Bonner now, or at least trying to, but they run it a bit wide. And here comes Aiden Jackson, the 89 car for Connor Sport. Jackson started a bit deeper in the field than he went to, but he's coming up to the field quietly, which is, I guess, what you want out of a younger driver. He was primed for a Ferrari seat for this season, but that really didn't come to fruition, mainly because he didn't really do much after the US 500. But he's driving for Connor Sport now, and he's making a home for himself. See, Butler clears the 84 car. He's cleared both the 84 and 82. Both cars are lap cars. However, the issue is they're as fast as the leaders, so you really can't exactly ask them to get out of the way, though I think Rich Roy would love to, considering he's been stuck behind the 82 for about way longer than he would like to admit. Beezus Hughes, 97 car, going 3 wide with Gase Bryan, and Ever Masana is ran off the road by the 52 car, and into the wall she goes. Yikes. Anyways, here is the battle for the lead. Ivan Carson and Bulgrid Daniels. The 1 is slowly closing in on the 27. Here's the 2 car, the teammate to the 1, trying to make a move around the 959. This is for 23rd. After that slow pit stop, Harrison has been really not near the front, however she's making her way to the front of the field. The 45 car, despite being inside the top 10 earlier, to the surprise of no one, is starting to fall back. This 45, Penn Harrington. On this team, because of their, well, let's be fair, they did well in the the Ohio Grand Prix last season. That's probably why they got the spot. Anyway, here's the 17 trying to make a move on the 9 car. Oh, Baguette, what are you doing? Yeah. Baguette just dumped the 9 car Edmund Berlin. Berlin has yet to score a victory in the series, which is surprising, and I'm not surprised. Edmund got cleared out by Regazzoni, 3 wide, with the other Regazzoni, Chris Regazzoni, siblings over there. Regazzoni making a move underneath the 45 and 53. Harrington and Ree. Looks like there may have been some contact, but not a lot. Enough for it to be acceptable, let's put it like that. Though Harrington, I don't think, wants to let the 53 car by. they can race the 53, but they can't race the 64. It's put like that. Here is Edmund Berlin. I think Berlin's trying to wreck the 17, but they've wrecked the 97. And Beezus Hughes' miserable, no good day continues to happen, as that was right in front of the leaders, actually. Anyways, here is Dylan Speeds, not surprised, Dylan Speeds racing Ryan Rickshaw for a position that they are several laps down, and they're causing a traffic jam. In this traffic jam is the 60 car of Kaylee Zappa. However, they're dumping the 24. Around goes Ormond. I mean, Zappa was getting help from the 81, but I don't understand. I can see that. Oh, and there's the 83 hit the back of the 81. Here's it on board with Eric Monaco. Yeah, Lopez kind of just came back on the racetrack, but there is an excuse that shouldn't be a penalty, but there's also an excuse that should be a penalty. I think that's a little too quick of a call, though. Anyway, Sabo Gogabeshvi is running deep in the field as his teammate is leading the race. He and Bulgardino are actually catch lap traffic. Lap traffic that hasn't been involved in incidents, I should say. Anyway, and here's the quickest car on the racetrack. Eric Monaco, no front end. They ripped the front end off, they put on new tires, and that just shows how crucial tires are here. Devin Butler still runs third. He's catching the top two, and that is because they are stuck in traffic. One of the cars they were catching was Kate Rivers, and she hits the pits at the end of lap 63. Here is Kaylee Zappa going a lap down after she's trying to get back on the late lap. She hit the pit lane. When she hit the pit lane, she served her penalty and took tires. Here is Eric Monaco, who just shoved the 17 out of the way. Here's another view of it. It looks, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's a bit sketchy. No penalty is called. I think that was in front of the leaders. Little bit of inconsistency, but you have to. There's an 95 pitting. You have to consider that the 83 is ahead on track than the 17. As the 27 and 71 hit the pit lane, the 27 almost looped it. Daniel's in on the following lap. Here is Devin Butler pitting a few laps later. Excuse me, that's Dane Jackson pitting a few laps later. Here's Jackson flying out the pits into the 95 of Carlos Rodriguez. Same incident that the 9 did earlier. Anyways, those two are going to keep on going. As A. Smith, or excuse me, Alyssa Hart and Edmund Berlin are around in the background, and same deal. Drivers trying to get it out of the pit lanes in front of someone, and they keep on spinning it. Not exactly helping their cases. Chris Rigazzoni came out as the leader, leading Rich Roy and Caitlin Tannerhill. Butler fourth, and yes, Eric Monaco with no hood is running fifth. And Kaylee Zappa, who was a few laps down earlier, is now in sixth. So, nice recovery from that self-inflicted penalty as Jeff hooks the 64 car. And around goes Rigazzoni and Lopez as Lopez just hits the pit lane. But that was a bit aggressive by the lap car, and Ree just threw it in there, Gase Bryan threw it in there and hooked the 64 car, and this has become, the battle between the 65 and 29 became the battle for the lead, as Caitlin Tannerhill is going to go underneath the 29 car as they enter turn number 3 and 4. Roy gives her space, and Tannerhill to the point. Here's another view of that, as Chris Rigazzoni is denied his first win. I know it's a little early on to say that, but Rigazzoni has come close to winning races just for stuff like that to happen. Tannerhill sweeps to the front after shenanigans. Now, Devin Butler is going to look for second as Gase Bryan is still causing a bit of a traffic jam, trying to hold on to his spots. Roy slides at the racetrack. Here comes Devin Butler, the 7-1 car. Butler hasn't won a race since his rookie season back in 2019, believe it or not. Roy hasn't won a race since his near title win in 2020, so it's been a while for both of these guys. Penn Harrington and Jeff Bonner dueling for position contact. Harrington turns Bonner off the red. Bonner doesn't like that, spins his teammate. Lou Greiner, who's the team principal over at and team boss at Kone Racing, is going to have a fun conversation with his drivers. Here is Jarrett Jackson running against Independence Trophy driver Beezus Hughes. He's also trying to defend from the one car, and he kind of just shoves Hughes out of the way. Hughes has been a punching bag all race. What is this? 4 or 5 different incidents she's been a part of. This is so this is kind of sad for her. As we got Carlos Rodriguez stuck behind the wad of lap cars. Viola Ling now underneath 95. And whoops. If you're going to take someone out, make sure you don't spin yourself out. Devin Butler leads over 29.65, beating them both out of pit lane. Lap 88, we have, we're not even halfway, we have 5 cautions. And we're going to be here for a while. Butler takes the green. Entering turn 1, got a clean restart over the rest of the field. Really trying to get around Regazzoni, but I don't think that's going to happen. Excuse me. As, trouble around, I saw the 13 get spun. We have a pig crash on the back straightaway. Here's what happened. Looking at Brandy Thorne, she is 4 wide. I think West got loose, got into the 13, and all hell breaks loose. Harrington's around. Rodriguez, Gavamenci, Carson's got a piece of it. There's the 17, the 9, the 2 all involved, and not Ace Smithley. Brandy Thorne's day is done. I think Adam Carson's day is also done. And it looks like this second incident started by people just trying to avoid the first one. And it looks like Ivan Carson, the 27th car, got clipped by the second incident, which sent him into the 13. Let's see. Yeah, Jeffrey clipped, got spun and clipped the 45, and that's where Kyle West got involved. That was kind of big. Here's an onboard of Ivan Carson. This is the restart. That 17 and 95 did not get going. The 17 kind of throws it in there. Actually, no, the 19 kind of slid up in front of the 27 right as the 13 was getting spun, and that's where Ivan Carson's day ends. As we come take the restart on lap 95, Devin Butler leads the field to the green, and this is gonna be, looks like a late green flag. They waited a while to throw that. However, if you just saw recent events, that would make a little more sense. Nathan Orman's in second, so Orman has climbed his way through the field. Though I don't think that car is as fast as everyone around him. Also, Tessa Whoop, she's been involved in about 30 different incidents. She's running in 4th. Wish I could say the same about Beezus Hughes, but Hughes is a lap down. Regazzoni running the 71 out of room for some reason. But Butler is going to hold the lead. Orman closed the gap on him a bit, probably because of the 2 lap cars dueling for position in front of him. The Butler is going to try to get underneath the 64 car of Regazzoni, and it's going to try to make a move, try to clear him by the time they enter turn 3. Holiday realizes he's there, moves out of the way, and it looks like the other Connor Sport car of Aiden Jackson is going to try to get around the 89. Or excuse me, the 24. Butler still cannot clear this 56 car, but I think that's just because of how this track is built. And finally, Nathan Ormond. Horrible season so far, though he is starting to get back to this in the form that we saw him at the end of last season, though Aiden Jackson wants something to say about that. Jackson to the inside of the 24 car as they enter turns 1 and 2, exiting turn 1 and 2, and Jackson clears the 89, or the 24, excuse me. Butler gonna try to make a move around the 89 around the outside, but that opens the door for Tanner Hill. And Caitlin Tannerhill, that 65 car, is going to take 3rd. Mid-Atlantic Motorsports have gotten a lot more manufacturer support they have in past years. Here's the floor line getting hooked by the 59. Nowhere for Rickshaw to go. Both go into the wall, and nice kickflip. That's going to put the A1 car out of the race, unfortunately. Everett Masana making her way through the field after a bad pit stop. This 50 car is trying to get past 6 to 48 cars for position. That's a bit of a block, but they keep it clean. Don't think no harm, no foul. But Masana, the 50 car, is trying to get around her former teammate, Viola Ling. These two are teammates at Toyota. got along relatively well. They had their moments here and there, but nothing too major. This is a battle for somewhere just outside the top 15. Because the 50 is going to clear the 16 as Tannehill, or excuse me, Masami goes to work in Kyle West. Rich Roy has cleared the 24, and now it's going to clear the 65 for 4th. So Roy, really, excuse me, that's 3rd. So Roy going to try to disrupt the Connor Sport 1-2 at the moment. Roy has yet to win a race since Gravis City of 2020. It's been a while. Tannehill thrown off by her defense, but Rich Roy is going to let Bulgard Daniels sneak through. This 65 car might have used the tires a little too much as Bulgard gets by the 65. Jackson is stuck behind the 56 of Allison Holiday. Bulgard Daniel, who I think by far is the quickest car on the racetrack at the moment, is going to set up Rich Roy for a run down at turn number 1. Car 1 passing a car in turn 1. I couldn't think more poetic. Jackson ran that turn a bit wide, though Roy is not giving up so easily, giving the 3rd up so easily. The 29 car, though, is going to, I think, have to concede, as it looks like he does. As now, it's Ada Jackson's turn to get passed by the Norwegian. Jackson is stuck behind this 56 car. I wonder if Holiday's jamming up everyone for Tannehill to get by. The problem is that if you're doing that, Tannehill needs to clear everyone. That kind of helps. Tannehill isn't really been making the moves, while the car that has been making moves is the Swan car, Bulgard Daniels, who is not a driver for Atlantic Motorsports, quite obviously. You can see Devin Butler is starting to catch the 9 car of Edmund Berlin. Berlin hit the pit lane. That car is damaged, and you can see a few other cars. He's actually catching the back half of the field as Jackson under pressure from Bulgard Daniels. Daniels, the reigning champion, changed her number from 75 to 1 over the offseason, as each reigning champion has the option to. Entering turns 3 and 4 side by side. Holiday isn't really paying attention. Jackson tries to predict which way she's going by going wide. Can't do so, and the 56 is going to finally be shuffled out of position. As long as Aiden Jackson, who is now struggling to get around the 17 car. So I'm starting to wonder if Jackson just doesn't have the power to get around the cars. As soon as I say that, though, Baguette kind of throws a block at the 29. Don't think Roy's too impressed with that. As doors the 17. And on turn 3 and 4, they're still side by side. I think they're going to try to split the 26, but Jackson thinks better of it for some reason, and Roy is going to get into 3rd. Meanwhile, Bulgard Daniel is now starting to catch the race leader. Though she is stuck in lap traffic here is the 19 of Masana, who's caught this group and actually has gotten past the 65 car, is now getting re-overtaken. Though I don't think Masana is going to fight that one too hard. There we've got Aiden Jackson, we got Rich Roy all fighting for a position. 3 wide ahead of them, that is for the last podium spot. As there is a slew of lap cars in front of him. One of them is Penn Harrington, who has rear end damage. And Evan Masana decided to join the party. So Masana loses another position. Wesley Joel loses another position. As Jackson gets through the conglomerate of lap cars, it is now attacking Caitlin Tannehill, though he cannot get underneath the 65 car. As they enter turn 1 and 2, now he's side by side with her. As they come down the main straight, or the back straight, excuse me, Tannehill ahead of the 89 by the time they're turn 3. Jackson breaks a little later, is side by side with the 65. Regazzoni is kind of just there. I don't think trying to get in the way, but I think his car is also as fast as the leaders. Speaking of Regazzoni, here he is, fast as the leaders. Jackson, though, is underneath of him. I wonder if he's going to just hit the brakes and let him go. That might cause more problems. Entering the back straight. No, he's only going to go. Regazzoni being a good back marker as he usually is, as we got a fight for the lead. Devin Butler. His gap has shrank by Bulgard Daniel. I think Daniels is by far the fastest car on the racetrack. Just looking at her pace around literally everyone else is proof of that. She's underneath them by the time we get down turn number 4, down the main straight. Daniels underneath the 71, outbreaks the 71 by quite a lot, and in front of the 1, yes, she will clear him. New race leader, and it is the Norwegian, the reigning champion, Volker Daniels. Butler's gonna, I think, try to rein her in, but I don't think that Konazeg is fast enough. As we're looking deep in the field, here's Caitlin Tanner. I shouldn't say deep in the field. Tanner Hill is stuck behind the 64 car. She's got Everett Masana and Wesley Jewell behind them. The 50 Masana used to drive the 19 car. Regazzoni, I think, just being there opened the door for the 50 car a little bit, or for the 19 a little bit. As Jewell tries to make a move with a 50, he's going. I think he thought about sending it, but Caitlin Tannerhill was, I think, paying too much attention to her mirror. She bailed out of the way for that way too early, and here comes the 19. Jewell gonna try to clear, but by the time they get into turn 1, however, he's not even alongside her anymore. Though Tannerhill's not on the optimum line. Jewell is, and is gonna go underneath the 65 car down the back straightaway. Still side by side. This is for third. Or excuse me, yeah, third, I believe. No, this is for fourth because the 89's third. I'm smart. Tanner Hill, though, is gonna fall to the 19. It looks like they're side by side during turn 1, but the Jewell has the racing line. The 65 doesn't. Jewell almost hits the 64, but he's to the lead. Here is the 2 car of Everett Masana that is Volker Daniels dumping the 52 car. Gase Prime flies back up the racetrack and clips the 82. And that is a weird incident, because the 82 actually ramped on the pit wall, and Leo Lang is thinking about the same thing I think everyone else is thinking. That being said, Dylan Speed's car is still functionable, which I think is the funniest thing of this entire part. Nathan Orman pit right as the caution came out, and that kind of cost him. He fell a lap down, everyone else pitted, and, well, he's nowhere near the front. Devin Butler did get the lead back under the pit stop cycle, and kind of began running away with the lead again. Are we surprised? Back in deep in the field, we got 2 more independent cars of Jackson and Alexa Ryan, who are tripping over each other. The 09 dumps the 48, or the 48 came up with the 09. I don't know what really happened. Alexa Ryan doing rallycross. Baggett Regazzoni dumped by another independent drifting car, that being Rick Rod, and that's going to take the 17 car out. Anywho, Rich Roy trying to get around the lap cars. He's got the Renison cars on his outside. He's got the 89, actually the 89 and 60s racing for position. Rivers and Hughes, he isn't. Kaylee Zappa trying to clear the 89. And she did so quite well. Who is this? Engie Harrison, car number 2, is in the top 10 finally. Just shows how quick that car has been. As this is Aiden Jackson under attack from the 50. They touch doors, though they keep it in a straight line. And Jackson holds off the 50 car for 9. He's got Kaylee Zappa in front of him. Both Swift Motorsport cars are doing well, by the way. Both inside the top 10, both shining. And this is exactly what we expected with Masana and Zappa. Zappa almost won a few races during her time taking over the 60 car, or the 10 car when Matthew Evans was injured. And Kaylee Zappa, well, okay, oh, wait, I jinxed her. Zappa's in trouble. Blow motor on the 60 car. Her day is done. Can really say Everett Masana did win a few races last year for Toyota. Battle for the lead between the 1 and the 71 of Butler and oh, contact. Daniels put Butler on the wall. Damage to the left-hand side of the 71, and that's going to drop him through the grill. No, let's see. Butler kind of is already on the inside and is just sitting on the apron, and I think Daniels just had enough and hooked the 71. Don't know if that's going to be a penalty or an investigation or not, but here's a view of the 29 car. It gets, I don't know, because the 71 and 1 are both going down the racetrack, and I wonder if Volker just ran out of room and just hooked the 71. Anyways, the 595 car, Kate Rivers, is running inside the top 15 on debut, considering all the shenanigans that's been happening around her. Not bad. We got the 82 and 9 car battling for a position. both severely damaged. The 48's also involved in this. Both cars are damaged, but they're having a solid run. Is Alexa Ryan also having a good run despite being involved in some incidents earlier on. Devin Butler has to pit the 7-1 car. There's too much damage on the left-hand side. The one pits a lap later. So Wesley Jolin, a Smithley in. Looks like that's one of the. I think that's Regazzoni in. Here's Engie Eriksson, who hasn't pitted yet, having a solid run. Here is Pierre Lamont deciding to wipe up 2 for some reason. I don't know why. I wonder if he was racing someone out of camera shot. And we got a caution. And we're being told the caution isn't for this. The 84 actually blew up on the front stretch, and that's what the caution's for, as we watch the 59 dumping the 2 for no reason. Here is what the caution's for. Ryan Extra blowing up out of a top 10 run. And not surprised. As Kate Rivers got a face full of smoke. But the day is done for Ryan Rexhaw, unfortunately, for Team Star USA, and this puts the Roy Inc. car of Rich Roy in front. Let's see, I was wondering when we're going to see Rich Roy possibly get another victory. It's been a while. Not a great restart. I think Jackson got a better restart than he did. Jackson runs at the racetrack into the 29. They're both off. Roy's around, and that's a lot of further damage. We have more shenanigans elsewhere. I think Tesla Wolf got spun. Jackson kind of just moved up the racetrack and really gave Roy another option other than to punt him. A lot of front end damage to the 29 car. If his race isn't over, his chance to win, chances of winning are starting to kind of just dump the 420 for no reason. Hey Smith, this is Alyssa Hart on board of winning the incident in front of her, and okay, she just dumped Gates Bryan for no reason. Okay then. Here's the on-board view of Caitlin Tannerhill. This is the restart from her perspective. Yeah, Jackson kind of just runs the 29 out of room. Roy's trying to stay off the bumper, but Jackson just runs him off the road. Not much you can do if you're Rich Roy, which has got to be infuriating, and he can't play his radio. There are too many expletives. Caitlin Tannerhill, though, is going to, well, she's not going to lead back to the straight because that 50 car is, not a surprise, but the 50 car just passed her, and that was for position. Here's the reason why the 7 car is going to the end of the longest line, as if we needed a reason. See exiting turn 2. Hart gets a huge run in the 7 car, and then as they enter turn 3, just doesn't even make an attempt to clear, to make a clean move on the 52. Both are into the wall. Everett Masana leads Tannerhill, and Ingy Eriksson avoided fire and ice apparently to get up into the 3rd. Tessa Wolf 4th and Viola Link 5th. So solid run recovery drive by Wolf, as Rich Roy down in 10th, but that car is severely damaged. Tannerhill under attack by Ingy Eriksson. Eriksson has the 97 underneath of her, trying to give her space, and that's actually going to cost her, because Tannerhill is going to be able to hold on to 2nd. Contact! Hughes just got stumped by, I think, Tessa Wolf. We'll go back for a second. We'll go check that in a second. We have several cars pitting. Apparently they jumped the start. Interesting. Yeah, Wolf kind of just dumped the 97. Okay, so we're getting some of those cars that are pitting jumped the start. Some miscalculated their fuel numbers, and Devin Butler. No, so much for a good run. Not many laps to go. Masana leads the 65 and the 2. Ling and Wolf and Roy are the only cars left in the lead lap. Worth noting, cars 59 and 595 both dropped out of the race due to a lot of crash damage and mechanical problems. Masana gets a good jump over Tannerhill. Rod tries to slot in between the 2 leaders, and that doesn't really work. As Masana starts to pull away, I think someone went off in the background, I don't know who. Here's Tessa Wolf having a good run, trying to hold off Rich Roy and Alyssa Hart. Both have the front ends. Actually, no, Roy just has the front end to pull it off. That 9 car looks like it's been through a lot. As Rich Roy given a shot by Kyle West, his day isn't going great after that restart incident. I think, though, Roy just wants to keep it on the track and maybe score a few points out of that car. There's more problems with that car than just what meets the eye. Orman runs a lap down. Here's Caitlin Tannerhill putting a bumper to the 175. Trying to get around the lap car. Looks like she will. Entering turn 1, yes. Caitlin Tannerhill is now free to hunt down the race leader of Everett Masana, trying to get Swift Motorsports' first win since California last year, technically Wisconsin last season. Here is a Smithley. Contact with Ree and it's Ryan. I think Ryan hooked the 53 and Smithley just happened to be there. Devin Butler, despite being self-destructive, is currently in the points. So is the 29 car, but well, he's also on the lead lap as Tannerhill is catching the 65 or the 50. As now Masana has really slowed up the last few laps. I think I don't think he just slowed up. I think the 65 car is just better because she's really on the bumper of the 50. They have pulled away from the rest of the field, and it's going to be Everett Masana versus Caitlin Tannerhill, and with 5 laps to go here in Argentina. And that's day done for Masana. Something's broken with 50. Tannerhill's going to get the lead, and that's how you make your situation worse. White flag for Caitlin Tannerhill. This team last won at Moncton last season with Allison Holiday. Since then, they've gained a lot more sponsors, a lot more manufacturer support, and it's been proven throughout the first half of the season. They've been up in the front, they've been battling for wins and podiums, and today, rounding turns 3 and 4, Caitlin Tannerhill is going to put Mid-Atlantic Motorsports back on the top step of the podium. Tannerhill wins in Argentina. Inge Erickson comes home second, the first time she hasn't come home first this season, and Tessa Wolff rounds at the podium in an amazing comeback drive. Viola Lane comes home 4th, Rush Roy 5th, should have been more, Rick Rod 6th, Orman 7th, great way to rebound from a horrible season. Daniels, Joel, and Ryan round up the top 10. Gaze Bryant and Everett Masana. Masana didn't finish the race, but what could have been, let's put it like that. Aiden Jackson had a lot more damage than we've shown. Weston Hart's position may not even be confirmed, so watch this space. And you can see the rest of the points finishers. Looking at the point standings, it's not really a surprise. Inge Erickson, unless someone gets the most laps and gets the pole at Texas, she's staying on top. Speaking of Texas, that's where the International Racing League will be next time. We hope to see you there.